turn that on and pretend that didn't happen.
I have this VEVOR Ultrasonic cleaner and I've used it for quite a long time, and it finally blew up. The fuse blew, well, what I thought was just the fuse, but I replaced the fuse and it blew immediately again. I was running it with the heater on, heating the liquid, and running the ultrasonic cleaner for 10-minute intervals, maybe a bit long to be honest, but it had a lot of water in it and it still ended up blowing. So we're going to go in here and see if I blew up some MOSFETs. Hopefully I didn't screw up the ultrasonic transducers, but well, I'll see if I can actually fix it this time. This fuse right here is the culprit, and that unfortunately doesn't tell me too much because we have lots of fuses here that are fine and they're downstream from the power input. And right here it looks like maybe the heating pad is shorted. Let's check that out. So it looks like there's two leads here that go to a pad on the side, and that appears to be the heater. That is these white wires, because the red and black are the actual ultrasonic transducers. There's 3 of them. I can see those there, those big boys. So I'm going to unplug this. Yeah, you can tell I do this often, right? Filming is kind of difficult. Alright. So obviously there's no power. There hasn't been power for months. Made sure that we don't have, well, there's no huge capacitors to really kill me either. But well, these guys probably high voltage, but 1 microfarad maybe. Okay. 48 ohms. How are these diodes? Do some diode checking. Okay. Not good, not good. That looks like a bridge rectifier too. Okay. You know what? I'm an idiot. These are just freewheeling diodes. That's why they're reading shorted, because I'm measuring the resistance across the coil of the relay. So these are fine. They're just in parallel with the coil of the relay. But this is a bit concerning, because these are oriented somewhat like a bridge rectifier. What happens if I cut the legs off of these simple diodes here? How are these diodes? Okay, hang on. Dead short. Dead short. Okay, these diodes are blown because they're not in the circuit and there's no voltage drop. And they're shorted in both directions. These diodes are blown for sure. They're no longer part of the circuit. And I've got 0 ohms across them in both directions. So the blocking direction is also completely shorted. So these are bye-bye diodes. Yeah, 470K. That makes sense. This resistor has a yellow, purple, orange band, and then these little safety caps should be fine. How about we don't melt the meter? Let's just get this out of the way, because I have bad luck with forgetting where I'm holding things and then having them melt through stuff. All the time with my soldering iron. Oh, why does that smell like plastic? Oh, I'm burning into something that I shouldn't be burning into. Okay. We're going to get these diodes out, swap them out, and we'll see if that was just the problem. I need to develop some sort of stand for this thing, because they send you this when you buy it, and I don't know about you, but it's kind of scary. I need like a little holster. I've seen people make them out of soup cans. I'm thinking to try that out. Good excuse to buy some chili in a can or something. I used to pull these out of the pack and then have to like take the glue residue off or burn through it. It's just much cleaner just to snip before it and not deal with the glue altogether. Clean up as you go, right? I don't know why this is here. That's from a different project as well. And I say clean up as you go as I package the diodes. Okay. Which direction were these going in? Oh, well, at least our footprint tells us. That's good. I don't have to go back through the video because I forgot. Bend them up like that. Oh, these are bigger too. Maybe they'll be, maybe they'll handle things better. We'll see. I hope this is the problem. I really don't know. I don't know why I'm reading 1 ohm across here. I was looking into the drivers for ultrasonic transducers, and I'm not familiar with them, but I did read that it could be the output of a transformer winding, and it's basically like coupling the 43 or something kilohertz through a transformer winding into the transducer. So this could be a very low impedance kind of or low resistance path, but at 43 kilohertz the impedance kind of gives you like a nice load. I don't know. I'm just going to pretend that the problem is just the diodes that I found that are shorted, and we're going to hope that is the case. Now, as I was talking, did I put those diodes in correctly? Yes, it appears so. Alright, let's fix you guys in here.
Let's just turn that on and pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, it's better flow. Sometimes I keep these little legs because they make good little bridges if you need something, especially if you're repairing something. But these ones are all covered in flux now. I'm not going to bother. And I may have caused a bit of strain after snipping that a bit too low, so let's just do a quick reflow. Oh, I put away the iron too soon. We still have to replace our burnt fuse. So let's do that right now. And where does that go? Here? That didn't break anything, right? There's our bad fuse. Let's get some braid. Fusey, fusey, fusey. Now which direction does this fuse go in? I'm joking, that's a test, you passed. I say we put it together and we see what happens. Well, let's not forget to plug the fan in. How about that? Could I have passed this from underneath? Yeah. Will I? I'll do that. Yeah, meet me halfway here. I'll do that. Well, let's go between the transformers. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Holds the wire. That's nice. My filming's kind of messed up, so I had to assemble somewhere else, but looks like we're all hooked up here. I'm just gonna close the lid, put in some screws, and we're gonna just try and turn it on, see what happens. You need to have water in it, but I'm just gonna turn it on for a second just to see if the fuse blows. I hope that was the problem, because I don't know where to go from here afterward. And the best part about sheet metal is if you can't catch the right threads, you just make your own threads by forcing it. Okay, alright, let's see. Please work. Okay, power's on. Does the fan run? Fan runs. Okay. Set point, okay, the temperature's working, 21 degrees Celsius. Set point is this. Let's turn the heater on. Heater is working, so the heater circuit is fine. Let's turn the heater off. Let's set the time here to 1 minute. Let's see what happens. Whoa. 1 minute? Okay. Oh man. Here goes. Oh! It works! It was the diodes. Ah, yes! Okay, okay. Fantastic. Alright, I'm going to fill this up with water and some Dawn soap, and we're going to clean something that's dirty. And, what do I clean? Let me figure that part out. Oh. Hang on. Before I get excited, I need to turn this off and tighten the screws that I said I would tighten. Also, there's a ground connection to the frame here that is just hand snug with a nut. So I'm gonna go in and then tighten that, because I'm getting excited now and I'm gonna forget all these things that I should do. Okay, welcome now to my washing machine. We have the ultrasonic cleaner on top of it, so it's gradually heating up now. I'm gonna run it for 2 minutes as a test, full of water, and I don't have anything to clean. I don't know, I'm just gonna run it with water, so at least we'll be able to see how it works under load. 2 minutes, you know, even I don't want to just go all in now and run it for 10 minutes, but even if I clean stuff in 2 minute bursts until I develop more confidence with this repair, then that'll be good enough. So let's see. I'm gonna obviously dim the audio because it's super loud, but we're just gonna run it. Oh, I need to find the lid. Okay, we'll run it without the lid, and I'll find the lid. Well, thanks for watching. Luckily, I was able to fix my ultrasonic cleaner. It's been sitting for probably the better part of a year, and I'm glad I finally got to fixing it. And thanks for joining along.